Hello! So, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program 1.0 Career Mode. We are going quickly to Mimus to quickly fill in that little contract we've got that we basically did last time. So I'll be skipping through this really quickly. But I was going to start recording when I got to Mimus, but I noticed in the comments from the last video that apparently, you know that bug with the fairing, and it makes you vibrate weirdly? It also appears that you count as crew report from Kerbin's water. We're about 70 kilometers above the water at the moment, so I'm pretty sure that's not accurate. We'll have it. We'll grab the EVA report, which apparently is gone because we've stopped vibrating. Oh well. And suddenly... Yes, got it! Which is really weird, and we've also managed to break our Kerbal. Come on! You can do it, Bill. You got this. Right, there we go. Alright, down. We're also meant to be burning at Apoap, so should probably get back in. Board. Right, I'll catch you again at Mimus. We also seem to have some problems with our orbital path. I.e., it's not there, and it keeps wandering away. Maybe if I nudge it really hard with a Kerbal? What? That was a surface sample. Let's try and get ourselves wedged in. Sample from Kerbin's shores. You took a sample of soil. It's very muddy and sandy. There might... Okay, that is our first surface sample. We got a surface sample of soil from space. Come on. You're moving away. Where are we? And where is our ship? Oh my god, we are going really, really fast. Oh, crap. That's our ship over there. And now we're kind of plummeting into the atmosphere in just a spacesuit pretty damn fast. I'm going to use the last of RCS to try and slow ourselves down, but I'm dubious. Oh. It looks like we might be okay. Yeah! We made it! And Bill is officially home after surviving reentry. In the middle of the ocean and its craft in orbit. Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, the craft doesn't seem to have an orbital path. Because reasons? Because it's still broken. And it counts as landed. Okay. So that was pretty cool. We managed our first space-to-orbit manned drop. I'm not even sure how we survived that, but we did. I think the fact that we had a very low orbital velocity because of the force imparted on us when we left the craft probably helped. I'm going to reload and redo this because, although that was cool, we now have a bit of debris in orbit that cost us a lot of money, and we can't go back up and Kerbal it because it's still broken. And it's going to stay broken. So I'm going to reload, or I could change the save. But I don't have a save before this. Yeah, I'm going to have to reload. That's a shame. Anyway, I'll catch you when we actually get to Mimus and aren't broken. Hopefully. Ta-da! Contract complete. 130 grand. So we got our space station orbit. We've recovered all our stages. Good times. Right. And I'm going to check if there are any more contracts available, because there might be a contract for exactly what we're doing now, because it's silly. But that's the case. So, we'll go along with it. Also, landing, get a flag down. That's another of our contracts, so we'll grab that. Then we'll check again once we're on the ground. Seems reasonable. Scientific data from surface of Mimus. Yeah, I'm going there. Okay, just gotta put her down gently. Make sure she's pointing up. And a little bit of thrust. I like Mimus because you can just be gentle. It's much more laid back than anywhere else. Like, Tylo is the opposite of Mimus. Mimus is all, like, nice and gentle. And we're down! Stop wobbling. Off. Kill rotation. Okay, crew report. I could be bound in a nutshell and count myself the king of infinite space. What's that quote from? Yeah. Can we transmit? No comms device. Well, there will be now. Crew report. Transmit. Yes. Did it. Got ourselves a contract. Nice. Okay. Bye-bye, debris. Right, let's go plant a flag. Get an EVA report, etc. EVA report. Ooh, space just above. Okay, we'll board and... Oh, you've already got that. Okay, anyway, we'll board. Off. Stop doing that. Stop. That doesn't look good. One small step for man. One giant wobble for the... That doesn't look safe. Service sample. 90 science. Sample contains several distinct types of ice frozen to form a complex multi-layered pattern. EVA report. Engine exhaust seems to have melted the ice underneath. 24 science. Nice. Let's get a flag down as well. Plant flag. Contract complete. More money. Mimus Station 2. Plaque text for the ducats. Okay, so let's just store that science and then we'll head over and try and grab some more science from a different biome. That's one of the reasons I love Mimus, is that we can fly around in an EVA pack. It's just so much easier to get around, it's quicker, Mimus is better than the moon. I will go out there and say Mimus is better than the moon any day. It's better for beginners, it's more fun to be on, it's more interesting, it's got more mint ice cream, maybe. Yeah, I think I prefer Mimus any day to the moon. Mimus is king. Let's try and get ourselves some more 90 science samples, because nice! I really need the science. Surface sample. Mimus's Minlands. You realise that the ground here looks more like a cookie dough than the mint ice cream of the flat lands your mouth starts to want water. 90 science. Oh yeah. And that, I'm guessing, is Highlands up there. So I think what we do is we collect this, and then we get the Highlands sample as well. I'm just going to fast forward to that. You don't need to see me flying around again. Although it is rather fun. So I guess I'll see you then. So, all the journey back. At least, as opposed to like the moon, where the moon you just walk everywhere, and it can get pretty boring. At least in Mimus you can be like, yeah, I'm just going to fly. That's the thing, like, if you were looking for different biomes and you want to be able to walk from your pod to different biomes, EVA on Mimus is totally the best way, and I completely overshot, so I turn around. But so much better to do EVA on Mimus, because you can get to the other biomes really quickly. It's a smaller planet for a start, and you can actually use your EVA pack to move around properly, unlike on the moon, where you're going to have a little bit of an issue there, because it's just high gravity. You need so much more for us. You need probably a lot more fuel than you anyway have. But let's go back and store this, and yeah, we'll probably go get one more sample, and then we'll be done. Okay, I'm going to try and get the Highlands one, but we are running out of EVA propellant. Actually, we've got monopropellant in the capsule, which we refill from. So that's fine. We already got these, haven't we? Yeah. EVA. Off we go! Okay, so I just had a lot of fun. I had a game crash when I was on Mimus. And then I reloaded the game, and we were back to the last episode, except the flag on Mimus was still there. So the flag was on Mimus, but we hadn't unlocked the techs, and we hadn't got the money, and we hadn't done the contracts, and we hadn't got the experience, but the flag was there. I don't even know how that happened. But anyway, I've gone back, and I fixed it all, and I brought the ship home and everything, and I've edited the save to make it back to the way it was, I think, ish, give or take. We need to spend some science. So we'll do that now. ASAP. Most important thing is we need solar panels. Decent solar panels and a bigger battery. Bam, got that. We can't afford to get this, but it's tempting. This actually gives us the first dish that can go past Kerbal Sphere of Influence. Yeah, we'll probably want that. And also gives us the Gigantor solar array. Not that we can really afford that. That's 300 science. This is purifiers of the stuff, so we can send Kerbals far away. That is another dish. Yeah. What else have we got? I think we'll pass on the ladders for now. Although they are tempting. And we'll grab this one, even if it's like just because it's got the 2.5 fairing. I want that 2.5 fairing. Yeah. Right. I'm going to go and I'm going to do the next thing we've got on our contract list, which is rescue some Kerbals. We've got 2 Kerbals in a low Kerbal orbit. I definitely need more Kerbals, especially if we're going to do a space station, so I'm perfectly happy to grab these guys. Got one here, so we're talking, 74. And we've got one here. So we're talking 82. Both of them pretty damn low. I'm probably going to get both in one go, so it might be a good opportunity to test out the bigger command pod. I think it's time, yeah. Big command pod. Right. I'll catch you guys in a second on the launch pad. So, this is the craft we're going to be sending, an Orbiter 3-man. It can take 3 Kerbals. We'll take 1 Kerbal up. We'll take Jebediah up, I think. It's pretty standard affair. It's got life support up here. It's got parachute here. Some batteries. It's also got a big heat shield. And then it's got a 2.5 meter tank going into the Poodle engine. There we go. Which is actually going to be like the majority of our what's it called? Thrust and staging and stuff is going to be that. Like, it's got 3 kilometers Delta V. Provided it's in orbit. Which it should be. It should be good. We also have... we have the, what's it called? The skipper. The skipper here doing, the normal stagey stuff of being the center stage. And we also have ridiculously sized SRBs on the side because I could, and I was lazy. However, this is actually over the limit for what we can have on the launch pad. So, because we have the money and I want to do this anyway at some point, if it'll load, there we go. Upgraded! Oh yeah! Let's select it. Pum 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 pum. Right. Throttle to the max. SAS on. Let's go. Now, my only concern is that these are kind of long SRBs and that they don't hit us when we detach them, and that the center stage might not last long enough to get us to an orbital sort of place. Because when we're in space, this top stage is really, really good, like loads of ISP. When we're in atmosphere, really not. Like a quarter the same amount of fuel efficiency. So we do need to get to atmosphere, to orbit, out of atmosphere for that to be, at all useful. So we're coming up now. throttle down a little bit. I don't want to go Mach 1 yet. Although it looks like we're going there. Yep, we've beat the sound barrier. Sound barrier is gone. I'm throttling down a little bit more. Because I want the SRVs to do most of the work, and then I want to be able to keep some of my fuel for the next phase when they inevitably kick out. Outputs is up to 20 kilometers, which is nice. Which means we turn a bit more over. Got a lot faster than I expected, but hey, that was expected with these SRVs. They're probably going to explode against each other. No, we're good! They didn't explode. Right, we can turn over. I'm beginning to think that I maybe overspec this rocket. I mean, we'll only know when we really get to orbit, but I think we're going to be at orbit and then plus like 1,000 Delta V, maybe. We've got plenty to do the orbital maneuvers. They shouldn't be too hard, especially since we've got a lot of time. We can wait for things to come back around towards us. Oh, this is Future Me, if you hadn't guessed, by the way. Hello! I'm talking to you from the miracle of the future. Anyway, so we're just going to do a bit of a circularization burn here. It's a pretty large circularization burn, but we should be fine, especially since this engine in orbit is really, really efficient. In atmosphere, it's like a quarter of the efficiency, but in vacuum, it's really good. So we should be pretty decent for being able to circularize here. And then it's just a case of being able to intercept the other spacecraft. So, nearly done. Bam! And then spin around. Right, so we've got to intercept the spacecraft, and this is going to be the point where it's like, oh, well, I probably should have launched into orbit to meet them rather than just up anyway. Not that times matter, we've got plenty of supplies on board, we've got no pressing engagements coming up. I mean, you know, Moho's like 120 days away or whatever. We're fine. Just got to wait until we can get them catching up on us. So, you know, they're slowly catching up. And I think another circularization or so. Another what was it called? Once round. Oh well, let's just get the points to meet up. What's it called? Orbit. Not the word I was looking for, but we can use the word orbit. Now if we put the MechJeb target data on, by the way, I can see this closest approach, and I can just edit off this rather than looking at these 2 points and being like, are they close? And then having to mouse over them, mouse back, change something, mouse back over them, mouse change something. It's just annoying having to do that and constantly check up. Having the data there and being able to move according to the data is much better. It's just more UI friendly, so I tend to use the target thing for this. And by tend to, I mean I much prefer and absolutely love using the target data. So much better. So we're coming in pretty close, and ooh, got to be careful. We might actually hit them if we're not careful here. But gotta start burning in 3, 2. There we go, and bam! Straight up alongside. Can't ask better than that. We're good. Zelsan, come on out. You're changing direction scarily, but okay. Oh, it's because I got out and I changed its position. Ah! Newton's law. For each reaction, there's equal and opposite reaction. We now have Zelsan! Welcome on board. We now got a new target. So, back to Future Me again. Yeah, just a case of getting to the other craft. Now, the other craft's fairly far around the orbit behind us, so it's just going to be a case of we'll burn, we'll wait for them to catch up with us, then we'll burn again. We've got plenty of Delta V. We can afford to spend time letting them catch up. And we've got so much Delta V. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could just, like, burn really hard, and we could meet them a lot sooner. But I'm not in a hurry. You know, I'm not in a hurry of time, I'm not in a hurry of fuel. I'm gonna be lazy, I'm gonna be slow, I'm gonna be lackadaisical, I'm gonna be overconfident, and you know what? I'm gonna enjoy having such an easy maneuver for Rendezvous. There we go. Especially considering we've got like almost no inclination difference, and they're really close and they're all in a really low orbit. Like, you don't often get handed contracts that line up quite this easily. I mean, you know, for Mimus or something you get, oh, science, oh, station, oh, flag. That's more common because it always tends to come along with, oh, you've been to this planet, right, here are a load of planet contracts. But for actually getting Kerbal's rescue, and they all happen to be in the same orbit, less common. It does happen, but less common, especially when you want them. And I do want more Kerbals, right? Especially if we're going to be manning a space station with them. So, you know, any Kerbals I can get, especially when I get a scientist to man a science lab. Perfect. Especially since they're paying me money to get 3 Kerbals. Yes. And we're pretty close. I deliberately didn't get a lot closer just in case, because I didn't want to like whack into them and destroy them, because that would be bad. We'd fail, we'd lose the money, and we'd lose a Kerbal. So, yeah, just going to be cautious about this one. And there we go, just doing a little bit of burn, just trying to get closer. But there we go, right next door, perfectly on the money, and back to past me for a brief shindig. Hello, Jessia. We'd like you to join us. Come on, we saved your ass, you join us now. That's how the contracts work. Wee. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Wee. Down, down. And we've got so much Delta V left, I'm kind of thinking we could pick KSC as the landing site. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you, KSC? Here. Add maneuver. And since we've got so much Delta V left, we're going to try and land there perfectly at the KSC. And you know, if we're really lucky, we might actually bring the engine with us. Because if we have enough Delta V to slow us down and we don't take too much re-entry, sure, why not? So let's get this. Basically, I'm doing this pretty much by eye. I've got I've got loads of fuel, I know this. So I can afford to be pretty aggressive with our deceleration, especially considering that the more aggressive we decelerate, the less our speed when we go in the atmosphere, the less the overheating, the more likely survival of parts. So I need to make sure we overshoot slightly in our trajectory, because the trajectory doesn't take into account air resistance. So we'll actually fall shorter than that. But we're falling pretty steeply, so I've only got it just off the coast. I just hope I don't hit any buildings. So let's spin around, just even the heating. Ooh. Oh, please don't burn up, please don't burn up, please don't burn up, please don't. Yes! So there we go. And pop the chute to make sure we don't, end up hitting a building. Because that was a severe possibility. If I didn't pop that chute, we could have well hit one of those buildings. But it looks like we're coming in just shy of the runway. Perfectly happy with that. And we'll try and save the bottom bit if we can. They're going to be burning and slowing us down at the last minute. So back to past me. 1.5 grand worth of engine, but we've still got the fuel tank intact. I think that counts as a win. I got extra stuff back, and we're not right next to KSC. In fact, so close, I'm going to get out and take a surface sample. Kerbin Shores, we get 5.4 science. I was tempted to do a few on Kerbin, but for 5.4 science, I really can't be bothered. Let's get the recover vessel on. And what are you? I want to know what, I want to know what speciality you are. A pilot and a scientist. You know what? I'm happy with that, because I want an extra scientist. Because I want to be able to operate a science lab. Jessia Kerman, you're probably going to be in charge of our science lab. Well done. Contract complete, 30 grand. Contract complete, 30 grand. She was added. Money, yeah, so basically all the stuff. And all this got back. Nice! Very happy with how it went. What else is there? Science data from space around Mimus. You really like that. Plant flag on Mimus. You really like that, don't you? You really just want me to keep going to Mimus. I mean, that said, we haven't gone to Mimus's poles for surface sample. Rescue Kerbal from the surface of Mimus. Sure. I was thinking about going there, so I'll take it. Kerbal. Plant flag. Science data from space around. Position satellite in equatorial rate. I could do this. But I'm lazy. And it would require us to do orbital maneuvers when we get there, and I'm kind of hoping we can hit the pole. That said, if we land on the pole and we take off, no, we're still going to end up in the equatorial orbit. What do you need? New unmanned probe that has an antenna and can generate power. Okay, so it has to be an unmanned probe. with an antenna and can generate power. We could do that. Pays good money. Yeah. We can do that. And this time we'll land on the pole and we'll get some science data from there as well, because surface samples are really, really good. So much science for them. So much science. Like, really, really good for science. Do we actually get to see the biomes on Mimus? Situations, biomes, right. Pole, slope, lesser flat, flat, lowlands, midlands, highlands, right. And where have we got surface samples from? Lesser flat, midlands, and slope. And they're worth 90 each, so I'm perfectly happy to go back and get a couple. Especially if we can get a craft that can hop around. If we can get a craft that can do a little bit of hopping. I mean, Mimus is really, really cheap to hop on. It's very, very low delta V. And especially now I've got a very large launch pad. I feel we can do this. I'm feeling good about doing this. Right. I'm in EnterElysium. We're going to probably hop to Mimus. Again, I know this is Mimus, like 3 episodes in a row of Mimus. But once we've done this one, I think we'll have enough money and we'll have got enough science that we can actually start doing something interesting with maybe a space station or possibly going to the moon. I do think Mimus is, by the way, way easier than going to the moon. So, that's my preference for farming science. But yeah, we'll go to the Mimus next time. It'll probably be a very quick pass, and then we'll figure out something else to do afterwards. Maybe testing a space plane. Possibly if we get the requisite parts, although that will be fairly expensive, especially without the turbojet. I don't know if we can do it. I think we need the turbojet, which is another 300 science, so I don't know if we'll be able to afford that. Unlikely. It might be, pairing to go to the moon. But until then, I've been EnterElysium. If you enjoyed today's episode, if you have, remember to like, not subscribed, well, consider subscribing, and that way you can see more. But until then, stay shiny.